Welcome back to my channel, Just Righteous Water Flows. Alright, y'all. Give this video a like and a subscribe. We're getting straight into it. I'm gonna get into talking about the most important thing right now, love. Why is it that a lot of people is afraid to love? But it's like naturally in there, it's like naturally we all need love. Naturally, love is the things that keeps every single thing alive. There's sometimes where some people, okay, they might survive, yeah, over doing some negative things, yes, but it's only the grace of God that kept them there. Like, it's funny how God will use people who love hate to support people's lives who love love. And that's literally God's love, using the hate to support love. So important message today. This is a message that I just think it brings a lot of healing to just even be reminded that it's okay to do the right thing. It's okay to get right with God. And if you're not right with God, it's time to get right with God now. This is no time to sit there and second guess, well, maybe I'm going to figure out if I'm going to believe. No, God is very, very real. And this is the time for you to understand that without love in your heart, it's going to be very difficult manifesting the love that you want to receive in your life experience for the time that God has given us. We are blessed every day just being able to learn from a mistake, being able to even make a choice, make a decision to wake up and understand that, okay, we might be in a situation or some bad circumstances in our life, but God still woke us up to give us an opportunity to make a decision to change. You ain't got to be honest to everybody about your next step. You ain't got to tell nobody. Just pray to God and you do what you got to do. Be realistic. Prioritize. This is about survival. Your survival comes first. Then your life. Then the things that you need. And then your wants. But first, you have to survive. You need to be able to get the basic needs. Your health. If you ain't got your health together, if first your relationship with God, then your health. If you ain't got these two things together, that's what you need to be working on right now, chosen ones. And you're going to be all right. I can't speak for everybody else that's not on that path for Christ, but I could tell you one thing. God will heal his people. He will heal you. He will protect you. He will literally show you his love. Just because you chose to make that decision to bring love out into existence, to bring that vibration out into what's going on currently. God will give you a present for your presence. I don't know who this message is going to resonate with, and who it's for, but I'm telling you, think about what I'm telling you in this video. God is literally going to give you a present for your presence. But you have to be present for God. You have to be doing his work. You have to be walking this path for the Lord. Once you get on that journey, trust me, you will begin to see what I'm telling you, and you will begin to experience certain things that I'm experiencing. Understanding why God is not bringing certain things that you want on the time that you just want it. Some people be stressing about things that they're not even ready for because God didn't even give it. Like, take your time. Some of us are younger. We feel like, oh, we're ready for everything. You can have a house, car, wife, everything. I've been there. A lot of us make mistakes because we're desperate to get the things that we just want, not even recognizing that we need to work on where we're at, that God wants us to embrace us where we are at. That's the love of God. God puts you right here, where you at, on earth. Right where you at on earth. God put you here to be used by him, not by the enemy. Not by the devil. Sometimes, the devil does different things to help go against God. So when you do things that go against God, you know what you're working for. You know that God will allow the enemy to use you, just like he did Job in the scriptures. God's love is way beyond our understanding. So stop trying to understand God's love 1000%. You don't know why God is choosing to help every little single person that come your way, millions and billions of people. Our mind can't even even think to even figure it all out. We don't have enough time of existence to even make it out and to figure it all out. That's up to God. This is why we must have faith in God and trust what God is doing and know that he's going to do some great works. And he's in the process right now of showing his love, of setting examples of what his loves look like. And once you could take the time to recognize and accept God in your life and make changes. If you know you did things in your past wrong to people, get right with people. At least forgive them. At least stop allowing yourself to think negative about somebody. Just because you felt like they were supposed to do something for you. Just because you felt like they were supposed to be a certain way for you. They were supposed to do a certain thing for you when you wanted them to do it. They didn't do it. They could have been a family or a friend. Sometimes God allows things in your life like this because he knows that you're strong enough to overcome it. You can choose the enemy, the devil, to take over your heart, and you can inquire about your situation, or you can sit there and realize that God put everybody into situations in this world that we don't always want to be in, and we have to respond to our situation. Even the most successful people in the world have situations that they're dealing with right now, that they need other people in the world that are not successful to help them. God is funny like that. God will have somebody that is completely probably the most wealthiest person in the world have somebody the most poorest person in the world, maybe have no money, be the one to save the richest person in the world life. You know, just like he did Daniel. Daniel wasn't it. He was at the bottom. He was at the bottom of the food chain. You know, like, they threw him in the den. They were hating on him. He had gifts. He had skills. He was able to sit there and put out the dreams for the Lord. He would sit there to read the dreams, and God used him to help read the king's dreams. Let's be real. You know, that's God's love for you. That's his love. God put that gift inside him. How did he know it's a gift? Because God has put it in his dream. He showed him. You know, God will give you a vision. There's some things that you can do that other people can't do. You might be a typer. You might be a writer. You might be a painter. And every time you do it, you move the whole entire room. People start to elevate. People start to grow. People start to advance. People start to, you know, get closer to God or feel the presence of love in their life. Who are you really? Ask yourself that, chosen one. Who is God making you to be? What type of works is God got you doing right now? Because I'm going to tell you right now, all it takes is a step at a time. All it takes is recognizing love. All it takes is understanding that God's love is beyond our love. Allow God to take care of his people when you're not around. These people that you want to help so much, or these people that don't seem like they could help themselves. And you could be trying to want to help them, and you could be, you know, feeling bad. I'm going to tell you right now, sometimes you have to pray and you have to ask God, what am I to do in this situation? Why is it that I have so much empathy? You know, and sometimes God will show you based off of where you're at in your life, where he put you. He'll let you know, yeah, go put a helping hand out. Go say this. God will use you. But you have to be willing to be used by God. You have to be turned away from the world. You have to try to take a chance, even if you're not fully where you want to be. You have to start taking steps. Sometimes it just starts to just change one habit at a time. And God will get you closer towards walking in the fear and mission him in the full armor of the Lord. You know? So God's love is omnipotent. You know, even when we don't understand why we have to let certain people go in life, but that's just a part of it. When somebody go in life, that's just what it is. I lost a lot of people in life, you know, and you know, I have my cries and things along them lines, but I could tell you one thing, that it taught me the importance of God's love. When something works out for somebody, when you find somebody that you love, when you can love on other people, that's a powerful thing, because you have some people out here that go through so much that they lose their energy towards making that decision towards supporting somebody that they actually care about. And what is life about if you not getting love and you not giving love? I think that would make anybody miserable or stressed. Like, who wants to be alone? Who wants to not, like, who wants to feel like they don't have love? They're not loved. Everybody needs love from a childhood. If you feel rejected by your parents, it's going to affect you, you know? And unfortunately, this is just the importance of knowing God, understanding that just because you was rejected by your friends, just because you was rejected by that opportunity and jobs and your dream, whatever it is, it doesn't mean that God was not blessing you in your life with other things. It doesn't mean that God did not reciprocate. You see, we live in a country, in a world where these holidays is used to make you believe that you have to follow the foundation of these celebrations that take every year. So now I'm gonna kind of go over topic a little bit, but it still resonates with what I'm talking about with God's love, because even though the world is like this and they put this out there, God still was loving even when you don't get to participate in these things. God's still loving on you. God's still showing that love, like, and sometimes you just can't participate because you just might not have the funds. Some people are poor. Like, what happens to the poor people when they just can't receive that love that they looking for? Maybe they're in a situation that had nothing to do with it and they just never got an example of love. How do you know somebody learned? Do people ever really receive love? Is there a limit? I think there's all levels and limits to love. And I believe that God is overall, the most highest level of love is just building a relationship, recognizing God and standing connected with God. So never be afraid to love, because at the end of the day, we all love differently. Some people have more time and patience. This is what separates. If you need a certain amount of love, trust me, you're not going to be with somebody who only knows how to love in one part of your life. All they know is buying you stuff. All they know is sex. All they know is, just you showing them off to the world, or them, or vice versa. That's what they want you to do. It's like everything comes down to the way God intended things to be. Because as much as we like to talk about, what God is doing and stuff like that, and we have to recognize that everything is all about the trust in what God can do outside of our control. That's patience. And when we trust in God, we show God that love. And God is able to reciprocate that back. So thanks for tuning in. Just Righteous Water Flows. I just wanted to give y'all a couple of tips on love that I picked up over the course of years. Sorry, please excuse me for taking my time. I just really wanted to just really get it all out, and let y'all get a clear understanding of what love can be for you, and just some different examples to help better apply it into the way that you look at love in your life, right? So thanks for tuning in. Peace. I gotta go, y'all. I'm out.